Scandal are probably the most legendary all-female rock band ever to come out of Japan, if not one of the most legendary all-female rock bands ever, I think would be a fair thing to say. But this is a really interesting song that we're about to listen to today, because this is called Oh Pretty Woman, which I'm pretty sure I have not had this confirmed yet, but I would be very surprised if what we're about to hear is not a cover of the Roy Orbison song of the same name. I'm pretty sure it's a cover of that. Now, one of the reasons I say that is because when the track list first came out for this new little mini 4-track CD release, that it's not quite long enough to be a mini album, I guess it is an EP. When the track list first came out for this, obviously it came up, there's a song called Oh Pretty Woman on it. I had originally thought the song was called Pretty Woman. I didn't know there was an O at the beginning of it. And then it was confirmed to me, yes, this is probably going to be the Roy Orbison song, because apparently when they first started out, and they were just dabbling with their instruments and learning, and they were at that sort of music school together, this is one of the songs that they dabbled with. So this is actually, despite being on this new recording and having been together for nearly 19 years now, Scandal, this particular song is a bit of a throwback, not only to Roy Orbison, but also to a very early part in their career. So I'm intrigued about this on a few levels. Now, I've got to be honest, Roy Orbison's a bit of an interesting one, because the guy got an amazing voice and also has some pretty good songs. From my personal taste, I would say Oh Pretty Woman is probably my least favourite Roy Orbison song. It's not one that I'm mad on. I find it a little bit repetitive, I've got to be honest. So I'm interested in what Scandal do with this, because Scandal, if nothing else, are a band who they've built their whole sound on a form of rock and roll, but on giving colour, quality, interesting things to their music. You know, they have so many things at their disposal, like the ability to do really cool vocal harmonies. You know, every single member is a vocalist. You know, they have a really good ability to play around with production, all these things. I could be setting myself up for a fall here, because I have no idea what to expect. But my hope is really my expectation is low, because it's not a song that I hugely like that they're covering here. But my hope is high, because it's being covered by a band who are just quintessentially an example of how to make the rock and roll formula interesting. So anyway, that's the precursor. I thought I'd waffle a little bit and tell you that before we get into it. 2.5 minutes down, but I hope that gives you a bit of an idea for what I'm genuinely intrigued. I have no idea. This is the last song I get to check out from this EP as well, so I'm kind of sad. This will be the last song I hear by Scandal for a while until they release something else. So fingers crossed for an album this year or something. But let's go. Let's have a little listen. I'm genuinely nervously excited. I can't over exaggerate that enough. I could really love this or not. Let's find out. Maybe it's not that song at all. Interesting. Yep. Oh, I like that. I like the choice to build it up on the toms. Are they switching vocals? Alright, this is the interesting bit. What are they going to do with this? I can't deny the song's kind of really invested with the Scandal energy. There's a real sort of brightness and joy to their vocals. Nice. I gotta be honest, I think they made me like that song a lot more than I originally did. Yeah, there's definitely a much more compelling energy to this, which comes through, I think, partly from the fact that, like, vocally this is much brighter. Now, I got the feeling that I'm always really struggle to work out whose voice is whose with some of these Scandal songs where you can tell there's multiple voices in there. So I wasn't quite picking out who was singing exactly which lines, but I love the fact that you could really feel that they were using that multiple vocal advantage that Scandal have. And also it was something bright and fun about this song as a general, the way they played it. It kind of felt like you could feel a certain joy to it. You know, it felt like something which was more of like a giddy little bit of fun that they're having. Now, I have to be honest, yeah, they didn't really do anything to rewrite the song. So, I mean, from the song perspective, it basically has a lot of the things that originally I feel about the song. You know, the original version of "Oh Pretty Woman," just for me, it never felt like it had enough layers of interest to be worth coming back to on repeat listens. But this, I think, benefits from the fact it's coming at the tail end of an album that's already quite explosively layered. You know, the first two songs are really wild, and then that third single is just like quintessential Scandal with like the big rock and roll melodies. So this feels like a nice song to put on the end as like a cheerful conclusion. I believe it's track 4 on that CD. It's got a lot of charm. It's got the Scandal sort of energy to it, and I think if you also contextualize it as part of the history of the band, it's really nice. It certainly is. I certainly find this version, no disrespect to the original, because the original I get it. It's just it didn't click with me. This certainly feels a lot. I don't know if it's faster. Is it faster than the original? I wonder. I'm going to have to check that out now. But I kind of get the feeling when I listen to this that this is just an example of... actually, do you know what? Let me just open this up. See if I can find out how long the original version is. An actual track length. I can't help but feel that this is a song that just kind of has a little bit of extra energy than the original. A little bit more... a little bit more pace to it. So the original's the same length, almost exactly. So, okay, it's probably the same. It just feels a little bit faster. It feels a little bit more concise to me. I don't know. I got to be honest, yeah, they didn't do anything to really change the song. It was very much a direct cover. I think a lot of the joy for me came from hearing them deliver it with their multiple vocals. I guess the most important thing, it was nice and joyful. Would I have liked to hear them do more to change it? There's a part of me which definitely says, as the person who loves songwriting, yes, I'd have loved to have heard them really put their own spin on it. However, there's also the part of me that's aware of the fact that they're covering a really classic song. And if you ever try and do any changes to a song that's this legendary, there'll always be people coming out the woodwork going, oh, I can't believe you ruined it. I hate you now because you ruined this classic song. So doing a direct cover in some ways is the better way to do it, especially when it's a song that I'm sure they practiced this in their early years just because, you know, it's like always an easy song that we can just pick up and play. So that's probably the way they're used to playing it as well, rather than reinterpreting it, using it more as a practice song. So yeah, in a way, I'm not super surprised that they didn't do anything to alter it, and I enjoy it more for hearing it done by Scandal in the Scandal style. But yeah, for me, of the 4 tracks on this album, this is definitely the one that I would say nice little closing track. But I wouldn't come back to this one in the same way that I come back to the other 3. The other 3 I'd come back to in their own right. This one kind of makes me wish that they covered "You Got It" instead. I can imagine them covering that. I think that would use their vocal harmonies more, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, no, this was nice. This was nice. It was good. It was nice, safe, but nostalgic. And that's really, I think, all you could ask for in that one. So, cool little ending to what I must admit is a pretty spectacular 4-track album. Really enjoy Really enjoy the fact this has come out. Well, it's not quite an album. It's an EP of sorts. And as a 4-track EP, I think this is absolutely worth buying. I would love to know your thoughts on this song if you're a fan of the original. Or otherwise, I'd love to know how you feel about this and how you feel about the EP as a general, because it's been a really interesting selection of songs that they delivered here. So get in the comments, tell me what you think, and till I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. For now, ciao, ciao.